Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loki here. Join me today as we plant iris. So let's go. It is early June here in New Hampshire, Zone 5B, and this is a perfect time to be looking for iris in stores. They are in their glory, they're blooming right now. In fact, I want to show you a few iris that I have blooming in my yard right now, and then we're going to go ahead and plant some more up in my garden. Most iris, especially the bearded iris, prefer full sun. The reason they call it a bearded iris is basically it looks like it has a little beard right there. And that's how you know if an iris is a bearded iris. But I wanted to show you how beautiful and stunning some of these iris are that I have in my garden. And I have them here in a full sun location. Here are some other very beautiful iris that I have in my garden. What's nice about iris is there are different colors, but there are also different heights. There are different leaves, meaning you can get some that are green, some that are blue-green, and you can even get some leaves that are variegated, like these ones here. And did you know that iris bloom at different times of the year based on the variety? Well, they do. In fact, I had a yellow iris that bloomed earlier this year. I have a few different ones that bloom earlier in the season. I have a plant nursery where I sell a bunch of plants, but I also have plants in here that I'm storing for myself. Let me show you all the iris that I have out here, and we're going to grab some and we're going to get them planted. Don't mind the weeds, but right here are a whole bunch of different iris. And they're a mixture of iris that I'm selling, but also iris that I'm just holding over for myself. And you'll notice that many of them are not blooming. Some may not bloom this year. If they were divided and they were a small piece with just a few fans on them, then they might not bloom. Or they might be iris that bloom a little bit later in the season. But here's an iris that's budded up. I'm not sure what it looks like, but we're going to grab it. And here's another iris. Let's go ahead and grab that and let's get planting. Right near my plant nursery, there aren't many iris here. There are just a few right here that we planted together that are more of a yellow color iris. But as we move this way, there are no other iris. I figured it would be a great place to tuck in some iris. They would do so well here because this has full sun and there are some little gaps that we can fill. Towards the front of this flower bed is a beautiful yellow flower that we planted, and it blooms during the very early spring months. It's called Leopardsbane. We have a nice patch of it here as well as other areas of this space. Well, it's gone by, so there really isn't much blooming in this space of the garden. I thought it would look really pretty to add some purple colored iris. I'm not 100% sure of the name of the iris because I got it from a friend of mine, but I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen, my best guess at what the name of this iris is. What I really like about it is once a bloom fades, more blooms appear. So that's always a bonus when it comes to iris. When I potted up this iris, I put it in a Proven Winners container, but this is not a Proven Winners plant. So we're just going to remove some weeds that were inside of this container and also go ahead and just pull off some of last year's growth that's at the base. And whenever you buy any plant, including an iris, it's good to squeeze the sides of your pot just to loosen up the plant in case the plant is pot bound or root bound. And you can see the roots are actually not too bad, so that's good. But if we had to, we can just loosen up the roots a little bit like this. It just makes it easier for the plant to spread its roots once it's in the ground. So I thought it would look nice to plant one iris here and one on the other side of the Leopardsbane. I'm just moving aside some of the mulch. When it comes to planting iris, you don't want to plant it too deep. In fact, if you plant your iris too deep, there's a good chance that your iris will not bloom for you. There are different ways to plant your iris. Some people like to basically create a little mound and put the roots around the mound. I've never done that. I'm going to show you the way that I do it. We're going to go ahead and backfill. And I'm just pushing down, making sure that my plant is secure. And I want to show you a close-up of this particular iris that we're planting. This is not a bearded iris. Notice that it doesn't have the little furry beard on it. So I have many other iris that I still need to plant in this flower bed. Again, these were just iris that I had in my plant nursery, and so they're basically free to me, and I'm so excited to be adding iris to this area of the garden. When I'm all done, I'll let you know how everything looks. Let's go ahead and plant this bearded iris together. I thought it would look really pretty in this spot right next to the peonies. Again, if I have an area that's nicely mulched, I do like to pull the mulch aside just so that as I'm planting it, it's a little bit neater. We're going to dig our hole. We're going to squeeze our pot, take our iris out. I took off most of the soil because I want you to see what it looks like. It has quite an extensive root system, but the rhizome is a lot larger than the rhizome on a Siberian iris. So again, I don't usually do it this way, but some people will basically create a little bit of a mound like that. And then they'll take the roots and they'll spread it on either side of that mound. And that just ensures that the rhizome stays above, but the roots go below. And I'm just showing you this method because it is a more common way of planting your iris. And I always like to do this. I always like to just make sure as I'm pushing down that I'm exposing the top of the rhizome. And then you're just backfilling. And that's it. Even though the iris are set up on drip irrigation here, it's still a good idea to give them a nice drink of water since we just planted them. I want to point out a couple of things. In terms of height, when it comes to these particular Siberian iris, they're not very tall. They're about, I'd say 12 inches in height. So that's why I placed them towards the front of the flower bed. I also want to mention plants that complement well when it comes to iris. In the distance there, you can see the old-fashioned bleeding heart. And that's a good thing to note. The old-fashioned bleeding heart, which is blooming right now, is a light pink color, so it looks beautiful when coupled next to this purple of the Siberian iris. The bearded iris I planted a little further back behind a patch of Rebecca or black-eyed Susan, which will bloom later in the season. So we have this beautiful purple colored one, and right behind it is a rose that is all budded up. So that's going to complement nicely because I foresee that the rose will be blooming around the same time as the iris. But what's definitely blooming at the same time as this iris is, again, the old-fashioned bleeding heart, as well as a Korean lilac. So I'm creating a little bit of a pattern where I have the Siberian iris, but then I also have right nearby the bearded iris. And then we come back over and here we continue with the Siberian iris. I want you to see in terms of complementary plants, look how beautiful Shasta daisy, and this is the oxeye Shasta daisy, how pretty it looks in the background, coupled with the Siberian iris. And then right in front of this old-fashioned bleeding heart is another bearded iris. I'm not sure of its color, but notice again, I placed it here right behind the Rebecca. And that iris that we planted looks really pretty next to the spotted leaves on the pulmonaria or lungwort. And the pattern continues. We have more of the Siberian iris, and then right nearby, we have a beautiful bearded iris, which should be blooming in a few days. And you can see that it's going to be a purple color, and it looks really pretty next to the pink of this peony. And I think that's the color that was really lacking in this flower bed. We have a lot of white. We have a lot of pink as well from the peonies that are starting to pop. But I think when you throw in a little bit of that purple, I just think it looks so beautiful. So if you're looking to make a romantic English garden or a traditional cottage garden, a lot of the flowers that we are talking about today are flowers you would find in that type of garden. I am really enjoying editing my flower beds. I love walking around, looking at my garden spaces, and seeing what's blooming right now and what's lacking color. How can I add additional color? How can I take flowers from other parts of my garden, remove them, or divide them, and then move them into new spaces? Let me know in the comments if you have iris in your yard, and if so, what is your favorite variety? I have a video that shows my process on how I divide iris. Believe it or not, you want to divide iris during the midsummer months. I'll put a link to that video down in the description below. I'm on the hunt for Japanese iris. Let me know if you have Japanese iris in your yard. I really want to add it to my garden space. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.